Planning a Canadian fishing trip can involve difficult decisions. With thousands of lakes, lodges, and resorts to choose from, planning can seem an almost insurmountable task. Our experience shows that the best Canadian trips always start with identifying a prime target species, whether trophy pike, trout, crappies, big brown bass, muskies, or walleyes, and narrowing in on the best location for each. Walleye anglers are faced with the unique dilemma: numbers or trophies. Indeed, there's something magical about Canadian waters where walleyes bite with the zeal and frequency of panfish. Literally one after another. Especially for family fishing, sometimes these are the best trips. On the other side of the coin, we all love big walleyes, and nothing beats setting a new personal best, with bragging photos and maybe even a graphite reproduction for the wall. Yet some Canadian waters offer both numbers and trophies. Call them win-win waters. Today we explore Lower Twin Lakes, just east of Lake Nipigon in northwest Ontario, an end-of-the-road destination where 200 fish days are not only common, but expected. Call it shore lunch insurance. But the region also has trophy walleye potential, making the non-stop bite even more exciting, knowing you could win the big fish lottery on your very next cast. Not to mention plentiful pike and several species of trout if you need a diversion from the non-stop walleye action. On today's Edge, we explore the Lower Twin Lakes' incredible jigging wrap bite, while demonstrating how today's technologies like Minn Kota's Spot Lock electronic anchoring and AutoChart Live can make quick work of catching loads of walleyes on uncharted waters. And we share smart packing tips for any Canadian fishing adventure. Along the way, we will show you how to find and isolate some of the best pike areas on any given lake. It's a win-win situation for Canadian fishing, so stick around, you won't want to miss a bite.
That's a whopper Waldo.
That is a whopper Waldo, huh?
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride.
Hey, it's another Canadian adventure, this time in the region of Greenstone in northwest Ontario. We're staying near Nakina at Lower Twin Lakes Lodge, an awesome outfitter if you want to get lots of walleyes, maybe some big walleyes, big numbers of pike, and even some big pike. And it's a great opportunity to bull moose if you're into that type of a deal. But Jim and I are going to fish these Lower Twin Lakes that are supposed to be dynamite. We've seen pictures of big walleyes, big pike, and it looks like great action. So I hope we get onto a hot bite here.
We're pretty far north. This is actually really remote. There's actually no roads any farther north than where we're at. This is just east of Big Lake Nipigon, which is a fabulous brook trout fishery. But it should be an interesting trip. We're gonna go experiment. We've never been on these bodies of water. It's late August. There should be a lot of fish concentrated in deep water out in the big main lake weed beds, big rock piles in the center of the lake.
I think we're gonna get them. Let's do it.
If you're heading up to northwest Ontario, or anywhere in Canada for that matter, there are a few things you just have to have, whether it's spring, summer, or fall. One is a passport. This is mandatory for any border crossing. Be sure to get it well before your trip because it can take a while to get. Next is a rain suit or foul weather gear. The majority of the time the weather is quite pleasant, but Mother Nature shows her teeth every once in a while, and you better be prepared. Being prepared way up here is half the battle. You don't want to overpack, but you don't want to underpack. Gill Gear is tailor-made for this through a process called layering. We bring a 3-layer system every time we're out. The base layer, which consists of an I2 long sleeve shirt and leggings. The mid layer is the Gill waterproof trousers, knit fleece, and thermal grid vest. For the outer layer, we love the tournament jacket and trousers. With these 3 layers, the rest of the clothing you pack is pretty simple. Here are a few items we always keep in the car or boat. A toolkit, jumper cables, tow strap, floor jack, tire iron, first aid kit, flares, some good sunscreen, and of course bug spray. There are a few other items that are nice to have if you're heading north. One is a few bottles of Seafoam motor treatment to overcome any fuel system problems you may have. Deep Creep for any lubrication needs on your reels, truck, or boat, and some Bugs Be Gone. This stuff cleans up just about anything: bugs, sap, or even fish blood that might get on your carpet. We bring 2 nets, one for walleye and another for big long fish like pike. One thing that's always nice to have is a solid cooler. Yeti makes the world's toughest coolers, and ice can last for days. This is mandatory for carrying food up and fillets or game back, which is a guarantee at Lower Twin Lakes Lodge.
It's digging a little bit. See if I can hold on to them. Whoa. These jigging wraps, it's like riding a bull a lot of times. Sometimes you feel like you only got 8 seconds and they're gonna get off. You always get nervous if it's a big fish. I don't think it's huge, but it's a nicer one. Oh yeah, real nice fish. Heck yeah. Thanks. Yeah, he lunched that thing.
Devoured the jigging
Hey,
wrap.
hey.
There you go.
Alrighty. Cool.
Pliers on that guy?
Thank you, sir. Look at that, huh? Beautiful Canadian walleye. Right now, Jim and I are on a fun adventure to the Greenstone region of Northwest Ontario. If you've watched any of our shows, I'm sure you've seen a piece or two of us chasing fish up in this region. It's a great place to hunt. Right now we're in a pretty remote area, Lower Twin Lakes Lodge. It's a drive-to destination that has not only big pike and big walleyes, it's got an abundance of both of them. So Jim and I are going to employ some of the technology that we've got in this boat to try to catch a bunch of walleyes and a bunch of pike. It's late summer, fish should be deep. Hopefully we'll get on a bunch of walleyes on the deep reefs and maybe even some big pike. He's hooked up again, this is good. Is that a good one, Jim?
Nope, but it's another fish. It's fast. Oop, look at this. I have a great big pike.
Wow, just grabbed it right there.
How do you
Cool.
like that idea?
Let us make this absolutely clear. The days of wasted casts and missed opportunities are over. New Mega Imaging takes fishing into the megahertz range for the first time, because higher frequency sonar means higher frequency of this. Without a doubt, it's the most detailed picture of the world below ever. And it's only from Humminbird.
Lund builds the best fishing boats, but did you know how affordable the best can be? Take the 1625 Fury XL side console, for example. Starting prices have been slashed, a savings of nearly $3,000. Or the 1625 Fury XL Sport walk-through windshield, a savings of over $3,000. Always wanted to get into a new Lund? Visit lundboats.com for your free catalog and to find a dealer near you. And take advantage of these great savings.
Auto stow and deploy, power trim, and your choice of iPilot or iPilot Link. Ulterra from Minn Kota. We can't believe it either.
This segment is brought to you by Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line.
I was sort of wondering what was going on there. Look at that.
That
Look at
is
this right here.
sweet. Look at
How do you
that.
like that? The big question is, can you net both of them?
Well, I'll give it a try. I got this little rinky-dinky net right now, but I do have a big pike net. We'll see what he...
Oh, wait, no, see.
Oh, he grabbed it again. That's pretty cool.
Well, that was interesting. Okay. That was interesting. As Jeremy was saying, you know, we come up to these really relatively remote bodies of water, you know, in a lot of different regions of the country, and they don't have accurate mapping And with this Helix, what we have actually is a base map in it, but it also a zero-line SD card. And what it enables us to do is actually, over the next couple of days while we're on the water, we're actually making an accurate depth contour map of this particular lake. And you can see what we found here. It's not only the depth finder, which is a really great tool to really speed the fish finding process, but with this particular Humminbird Helix, what we have is, when I zoom out, you can see that there's actually a base map. And that's just the outline or the contour of all the lakes in North America, really. So, but when I zoom in, as we move it around this lake, we are actually making our own map. It's called AutoChart Live, and it's just an unbelievable tool to really find fish on remote waters like we have here, or any waters for that matter, where you don't have a really accurate depth contour map. You can see what we actually found here was a 20-foot hump, and it's actually surrounded by 40 foot of water. Right now it's midsummer. We're expecting that a lot of the fish would be sort of somewhat, you know, probably around deep water basins of the lake. And what we found is a hump here, and it's just loaded with walleyes. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, that fast. It's funny, I feel like I've exhausted this area directly underneath my feet. Oh, he came off. I'm actually having to cast out like 5 feet. So one of the cool features, talking about technology, is we're running Minn Kota's Altera in this boat, and I've got the spot lock feature. It's got a number of great features. This one has iPilot link on it, but talk about an incredible tool when you want to vertically fish. If I was running a cable drive, a standard trolling motor without this feature, man, I'm up here fighting it, doing everything I can to try and stay on the waypoint. Here, I can sit and talk with Jim, net a fish, do whatever, reposition however I want to. It really is amazing, amazing technology. And I just missed another one. Boy, they're thick here, Jim.
There they are right there, look at him. See, that's my jig right here, and you can see that that's a walleye looking at my bait right here, jigging wrap right now. Let's see if I can get that little rascal to eat it.
Oh. That was cool. I saw it, just happened to look back.
I saw him. That's that one right there. You can see him on the depth finder.
We're always looking for a secret to success, like lures, legs, spots. Here's one mechanics have been using for decades to solve fuel system problems. It's Seafoam motor treatment. Seafoam helps to do the few important things exceptionally well. Cleans harmful fuel residues in engine deposits, lubricates upper cylinders so engines run smoother and last longer, and protects the entire system from bad fuel. To me, this stuff is like a miracle in a can.
Spring. It's here. And for us, that means heading outdoors. That's where you'll find us. We work, we cut, we plant, we renew, and renovate outdoors. And of course, we fish. At the end of the day, we relax outdoors. We were born in the Midwest. We are outdoors, always. Mills Fleet Farm.
When you're paid to put fish in the boat, you don't mess around with the thing that puts fish in the boat. Always use the best line.
The Edge is presented by these and other fine sponsors.
Staying down. I think he's just covered in weeds. Oh, big walleye.
Big Waldo.
Cool.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet. How do you like that?
when you're on a pike run and you get yourself a giganto walleye.
Out of the big weed bed.
Yeah. So that one came on a spinnerbait fishing for pike, but there's a number of lures that we pack on board when we're going on a Canadian trip exploring for walleyes and pike, and I want to share those with you. Cool. Loading up for a walleye and pike run is different than if you were coming up here for bass, trout, or other species. So let me give you a few must-haves for each. Let's start with the walleyes. Number one is the jigging wrap. We never leave home without them. This bait has become one of the mainstays for catching walleyes anywhere they swim. This lure was the hot ticket for walleyes on this trip. As fast as you could drop it down, it got bit. So here's a cool little deal that a friend of mine shared a video with me online that I looked at about spinning equipment into this whole deal with the jigging wrap. I'm telling you, you have to have mono or fluoro to do this, preferably mono. If you've got braid, it just doesn't work as well. So what I've done here, I've got this is a Daiwa Fuego. It's a smaller size reel. I use this for doing a lot of walleye jigging, but I've got it spooled with 6-pound Suffix Nano braid as my main line, and I just add like, instead of I just missed one. Instead of adding like a 4-foot leader, I add like a 50-foot leader. So I get the full functionality of having mono for this jigging wrap presentation, but I still have that mono or that braid backing. If I want to fish braid, I've still got a full spool of braid on here, and it's just a dynamite deal. So if you want to make the most of a reel, you can spool it with a small diameter braid, still keep it at max capacity, and then put an ultra long leader on, and you're in business. Next up are jigs, and lots of them. We like the VMC Moon Eye jigs from 1/8 to 3/8 of an ounce, and you got it covered. The plastics we use are the Big Bite jointed jerk minnow, the swimming jerk minnow, and a 3 and 4 inch grub. The Storm 360 GT search bait is hard to beat for finding fish of all species. The lure is made for this type of activity. It's really a no-brainer. All you have to do is cast it out, reel it in, and the bait does all the work. The motto is, cast it anywhere, catch fish everywhere. It has a head that rattles and a boot tail that gives this lure a super lifelike action. These baits have turned into a real go-to lure. That's what the GT stands for, go-to. For cranks, it's tough to beat the Rapala Shad Rap. We always carry the numbers 7, 8, and 9. You'll need some type of jerk bait. The Rapala X-Rap is a fan favorite, just because it's so versatile. You can fish it slow, fast, or in between. And let's not forget rigs. VMC makes a variety of pre-rig systems. We like the Spindrift live bait rig and the Spindrift spinner rig. Grab some lead and you're covered. Now for the gators, you've always got to bring some spinners. We like the Blue Fox Super Boost series. We'll bring some inline and safety pins depending on the cover we're faced with. A lot of different hard baits will work for these big pike, but the BX series is built for handling giant toothy critters. They're made out of balsa wood, but have a tough copolymer shell which is almost bulletproof. The BX Swimmer has a jointed body and a slow sink. The Minnow, on the other hand, is buoyant. This allows you a lot of flexibility wherever the fish are in the shallows. If you gotta troll deep, nothing outperforms the X-Rap Magnum. These guys go to the basement fast and runs true at very high speeds. This can be deadly for covering a lot of deep structure. Many jigs work for pop jigging deep, but if you've got to bring one, the VMC Flat Shad jig is perfect. The size can vary from 1/2 to 1 ounce depending on the depth the fish are at. This thing will go to the bottom like a rock, and the head shape gives it a very erratic action. Some plastics you might want to pack are the 5-inch Big Bite Suicide Shad or the 6-inch Jerk Minnow. Each have a different action, so experiment with both. With any of these baits, you need a leader, and the 50-pound VMC titanium leader is the bomb. I don't care how many fish you catch or how hard they roll, they will never kink this baby. If you got good knots, a couple of these will last for years. Some terminal tackle is always necessary when you go on a run like this. We carry extra hooks, VMC swivels, snaps, touchlock snap swivels, split rings, 3-way swivels, and a wide assortment of line just in case. Right now, we're chasing the pike. These monsters can be anywhere, but we never did stumble into any big ones deep while we were walleye fishing, so that leaves us with one other option. They're shallow.
He's not a giant. He's a nice one, though. Come here, buddy. Come here. He's got it, just his mouth
That's
open.
a nice one.
Real pretty one, boy. Look at
Oh
him.
man, that's a beautiful fish.
Yeah.
Cool. So when it comes to this pike fishing, really all you need is a flipping stick for bass. There's a couple rods that I like for it, and they can do a ton of different things. So right now I happen to be fishing with St. Croix's. This is the Legend Elite, super nice rod, the Cadillac of rods, but it's a 711 heavy fast action. Another rod I really like for this is a 7.4 heavy fast. Those two actions, St. Croix makes those in just about every series of rods they make. You can deep jig with it, you can troll with it, you can throw spinners, you can troll like we're doing right now, you can do a ton of different stuff. And I spool it up with either 50 or 65 pound line. I love Suffolk's Performance Braid as a main line. And then you've got your size 200 or 300 reel. This is Daiwa's Lexa reel here. I like the faster gears personally. I've got an 8-to-1 on here. I think Jim's fishing with the 7-to-1, but you get a combo like that, you can do anything. One or two tools, one or two rods, you can accomplish all the different pike styles of fishing that you want.
Oh, yeah, boy, I saw him boil on it.
They like those spinners. It's
Yeah,
like,
they
why
do.
fight it?
They do.
That's a nice fish, Jim.
Yeah, it is. Come here, buddy.
Real nice fish.
Yeah, I know. He's really lunched it. He's sort of open mouth. Come here, buddy. Come here.
There's one, doubled up.
What's that? You got one too?
Yep.
I was gonna say I saw him boil like this. So that's a better sized fish.
Whoa, yeah. Talk about paying off, coming through here and marking it. I just switched up to a flat wrap jerkbait. Jerkbaits are known to catch big jacks.
Yep.
And of all colors, fire tiger. Imagine that. These are nice fish. I'm telling you. Okay, so how jacked would you be to go catch a bunch of 5-6 pound bass on a flipping stick? Well, how about catching 5 to 15 pound pike that do this type of a deal on a flipping stick? It's a good time.
It's got like sort of a chartreuse color to her. Whoa.
There's no place like this.
Yeah, Lindner here for Angling Buzz.
I'm Tony Roach.
Ray Rolstone.
Lee Talkin here.
Brad Durick up here on the Red River.
Muskegon River.
Leech Lake.
Devil's Lake.
Beautiful Lake Vermilion.
Topwater's been really fun. Go to the plastics.
Bass like this. A lot of walleyes like that.
Giant bluegills. From Sturgeon Bay, Lake Sakakawea,
Lake Winnie region.
northern Wisconsin. Good luck, everybody.
Have fun.
Check us out on the web.
Current up-to-date fishing info from the best anglers in the Midwest. Learn from the pros at anglingbuzz.com.
Can't get enough Angling Edge? Wish you could learn more than you saw on TV? You can. Angling Edge DVDs dive deep into fish catching techniques that couldn't fit on air. It's like extra innings or overtime of Angling Edge. Choose from dozens of titles featuring your favorite freshwater fish. Purchase 5 DVDs at the incredible low price of $25. That's 5 DVDs for just $25. Purchase 2 sets and get free shipping too. Visit anglingedge.com to place your order. The Edge is presented by these and other fine sponsors.
It's one thing you come up to remote waters like this, so it is really, it's unbelievable the number of fish in these lakes. Really tremendously fertile bodies of water. You go out in these deep water basins and they're just, you know, hundreds of acres of tulipies and ciscos that actually grow these fish. There he is.
Oh, it's a huge walleye. Cool. Wow.
It's a great
Sweet.
big one. Wow, look at him.
Holy cow.
Wow, come here, buddy. That's a big walleye.
How do you like that? Wow, what a giant fish, man. We're catching, you know, that's the thing is you're catching, what, 1, 2, 3 pound walleyes one after the other, and then dunk, look at what happened to bite here. Wow, perfect.
Look at that, man. That is a big walleye.
That is a huge walleye.
And that's a whopper Waldo.
That is a whopper Waldo, huh? Check that out. Unbelievable. It's, you know, it pays off. We spent a lot of time driving. We just had a little rain squall come through, but on our way to avoid the rain, we found this little high spot out here, and it paid off. Drop waypoints and anything that looks good, come back and fish it, because giants like this come in the boat. This is worth the trip right here, man.
It was.
Cool.
It's a gorgeous
I'm gonna get it
fish.
back.
It really is. Whoa.
Right on.
You know, because of the way I close every segment of the Edge television show, usually referring to something in the Bible, which I believe is the inspired Word of God, and I try to share something that I believe is really inspirational and will help somebody deal with the issues of life. And boy, do I get emails. I get lots of emails, and a lot of people asking me about the Bible, things that are in the Bible, about God, about Christ, who's the foundation of the Bible, what it says, what it doesn't say. Can you share this with me? What do you think about this? And usually when I respond to many of these questions, similar to ones like this, I tell them how I start my day and how I end my day. And the impact, I've been doing this for years and years and years, and the impact on me has been actually quite incredible. First thing I do in the morning when I get up, and when I'm refreshed, kind of ready to go, I start my day by simply saying, "This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." That's the beginning of my day. Those words are so important. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And at the end of the day, my last thoughts as I close my day off are real simple. I think of something specifically that day that happened to me that was really good. I just pick one thing. Some days there's all kinds of things that are good. Some days it's a head scratcher, but I always find something good that happened that day, and I thank the Lord for it. I thank you, Lord, for this, that, or the other, but there is always something good that I could find in no matter what challenges I faced that day. Opening my day and closing my day that way have had a huge impact on my life. How I think, how I look at God's Word, the wisdom that comes out of it, the challenges of life. Just encourage you to think about that this week and maybe apply it in your life. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, you have a good, safe fishing season. We'll see you on the water.
Hey, I want to take a moment to thank you for watching. And if you really like what you see, we got a whole lot more. So check us out at any one of these online outlets. You know, in fishing, there are good days and there are great days. Time is just a wink from the Almighty. We plan, target, rig, and play the game like everyone else.